Hey y'all, this is probably the most highly anticipated interview that I myself wanted to actually have this person on, because he's like my big brother. He's known me since I was 14 years old. And just knowing that what he has right now with his platform when it comes to being a financial advisor is phenomenal. So I'm super happy my brother said yes.
Yes.
I have no idea. Listen, I was texting PJ like 4 times, like, hey, bro, so what's up? But yes, I'll let him introduce himself and how to find him on his social medias and fun facts and all that great stuff. So let the people know who you are.
Yes. Well, sis, first of all, I want to say I'm grateful to be able to be on your show. This is like absolutely amazing to have a podcast. I love the fact that you having a platform to be able to give people information that is otherwise not so privy to all of us. So having a platform that gives back to people, allow them to get free information. Basically, you're doing the research, you're bringing on the people who have lived this life, and we want to be able to give it to people for free, and so they can get a one-up in life. All right, so just quick background about me. I'm PJ Hill. I was born and raised here in Minneapolis. I went to Minneapolis North. Yes, Polar, stand up. Yep. So played basketball there. And then I went to junior college actually 1 year. So I played 1 year in junior college in Midland, Texas, and won a national championship. And then after that, I played 3 years at Ohio State, won Big Ten championship.
The Ohio State.
My bad. So I can't forget that. The Ohio State. I got a degree in applied math and economics. And then from there, I went and played professional for almost a decade. So got to travel the world, been almost every country in Europe, played in China, Greece, Russia, everywhere. It's so an amazing experience. And at the end of my career, I got an opportunity to join a wealth management team. So that's what I'm doing, wealth management, teaching people how to build wealth. That's what I do. So I work for Wells Fargo Advisors, in a private bank, just teaching people how to build wealth as a financial advisor. And so that takes me to today. Yeah.
Listen, all about a coin. Okay. Let me tell y'all. Listen, if y'all don't know, I'm going to give a fun fact. PJ got swag. Back in the day, he used to wear 4 sizes too big clothes, but now it's nice and suited. He nice and suited and booted. Now PJ used to have some big dumb pants and shirts. Now he looking nice. He got his Rico Suave going on. But not how if someone wanted to find more information about you, where would you send them? Like, how can I find you on social media?
Yeah, so basically the best platform to reach me at, and that's most accessible, is my Instagram or my Facebook. So my Instagram is Mr.PJ Hill, and my Facebook, just look up PJ Hill. You'll see a picture of me in a suit smiling. But yeah, get at me. I mean, that's the best platform right now. Actually, I'm going tonight to build my website, so that way it can, give people more information, more about me. Because I'm involved in so many things,
yes,
just like the Godfather.
Listen, he's a philanthropist. Y'all understand what he did this summer. I'm gonna boast him if he doesn't want to, but knowing that he marched and he led a movement, he's a basketball coach. When I say he's a phenomenal, he's hard. Okay, PJ trained me. I only lasted 1 summer, and that says a lot. Okay, because I work hard.
You're a beast.
So if he don't want to boast himself, he's a phenomenal father, husband, brother, son. Like, this is probably one of the best people that I've ever come across. His family is phenomenal. I love them. They allow me to eat at their house a lot of times for free. Okay.
Okay, straight up, amen.
But no, definitely. So no, he's more than just a financial advisor, you guys. So tap into his social media network. Even if it's just questions about his journey as an athlete, he's super dope. So we're gonna get into the discussion. All about what I want to learn. As much as I would love to say this is for my platform, I'm being a little selfish, y'all. This is a lot for me too, because I'm trying to get my brother to help me invest my money so I can get my money to work for myself. So tell me a little bit about your business as a financial advisor. Like, I don't really know what that looks like. Give me an idea.
So for me, like, the main thing when we say financial advisor, I'm literally the co-pilot to helping people on their financial journey. If you think about like a doctor, I'm people's financial doctor. And what I do is just act as a guide as you go through life And I want to make sure that your financial life fits inside of the life you envision for yourself, whether that's for retirement, whether that's for right now. And so that's what I help people do. And I don't just only do investment management. Like, I don't just only tell you what to invest your money in. I do holistic wealth planning. And what that means is, like, I help you build a financial plan. I help you do cash flow management. So cash flow management means budgets. That's just yeah. So I help people do budgets. I help people, build different streams of revenue, whether that be from the stock market or whether it be from real estate, whatever streams of revenue, whether it's lending. I own a lending company. I do a lot of lending, but helping people, like, build those different streams of revenue. If you think about a table, all of us have had these round tables in our life, a round table with one leg in the middle. That's your one stream of income. Then something like COVID come and chop that mug away. Now it's over.
Yep.
Now it's over. But if you think about a round table or a square table with 4 legs under it, even if you chop one of them legs off, it'll still stand. And that's what I want people to do. So that's my job. I do holistic financial planning, financial wealth, investment management, trust services, like all of those things. Anything that has to do with money, I do. So you could just kind of think about that.
Money man. Yeah, that's
it. Concierge banking, all of that.
And so basically what you're saying, so that's good, because I literally, honestly, I never knew what it meant to be a financial advisor. I'm like, I don't know. Because then you got people that are financial coaches. I'm like, okay, what's the difference between a financial coach and a financial advisor? And so to ask that question to a financial coach, it makes sense what the difference is to me. Mm-hmm. I think that the advisor is basically, what you said is like a guide. I think a coach is like a person that's cheering you on, like, look, this is what we got. But the advisor is like the person that's going to take you from point A to point B. So I think that's pretty cool to learn. So I know, since, you had to develop this information, right? It wasn't just readily accessible to you. So what was your relationship a little bit like growing up with money?
You know what? My mom and dad never really taught me about money. And I think that stands true for a lot of Black people, or a lot of people who grew up in the inner city. It doesn't even matter about a color. When you live kind of right above the poverty line, nobody really teaches you about money. Your perception of money is so scarce. So you feel like, dang, if I got it, like, dang, I probably need to spend it. Or like, if I got it, do I need to save it and just for a rainy day? So I didn't really have like a good relationship with money. Nobody really taught me the principles about money. It's just like anything else. It's just paper. It's just a means to an end. So if you look at it like that and you get educated around it, I think that takes the fear out of a lot of it. So for me, the biggest thing is my mom taught me how to save when I was little. Mm-hmm. So I always say this to people. Here is the basic principle about money. Save a little, spend a little, give a little. Mm-hmm. That is the basic principle. So anytime you get money, you put it into those 3 buckets. The save a little. So that'll go to paying your future self. Or how can I put money into an investment that will reward me down the line, even if it's 1 month from now or if it's 10 years from now. So that's to save. How can I put something away for my future self? Spend a little. So you have to, quality of life means something. So you have to spend some of your money and enjoy it, because that's what we work for. You hate to be the person who saves all of their money and then, boom, God knocks on your door and say your life is required of you today.
Okay.
Yeah, like, my grandpa died this morning, RIP to him, but he had plans tonight. He had plans for New Year's. So you never know. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's okay. He lived a good life. I mean, he died from COVID. Sad, super sad. And I was hurt, but I understand that, like, all of this planning can do anything, but if you don't live along the way, then it messes you up. So that's why you got to have save a little, spend a little is very important. And then what's also very important to me is give a little. So for me, that giving is to my church. That giving is to, to people who are less fortunate. Like, I coach girls and I use basketball as my vehicle to teach a lot of life lessons. So I have a lot of girls on my team who can't afford it. Cool. Mm-hmm. I'm going to pay for you. I'm going to give you a route. So that's what I think. I think it's important to sow a seed. Just like if you think about a fire, you can't say, give me fire and then I'll give you wood. No, you have to put wood in there and then fire comes out. Yeah. So think about it like that. Invest. You have to sow those seeds so they can come back. There's no way you can take money out the bank if you don't put money in there.
Listen, you just dropped some gems. I love that. You said save a little, spend a little, give a little. I love that. Listen, that right there is, now granted, I think I lived by that, but I never understood how you broke that down. Was just so simple. It was like very, very simple, straight to the point. I need to start spending a little bit more. I'm cheap.
Yeah.
I'm like the female version of Jason Pitts. You remember the game? That's me. I'll be like, I'm not spending it at
No,
all. That is so dope. All right. So look, boom. So I'm assuming mom, of course, gave you the whole idea of saving. Do you think that influenced your decisions on making money now, or on why you chose a certain career? Like, why did you choose the lane that you're in?
so I think what my mom did is, saving was really good. But what I learned is saving actually is only good to a certain point. Because if you have all your savings in the bank, then your money's not working for you. So now that I know how the world works, I know how banking works and the financial industry works. So for example, by law, banks can take 90% of the money that you have deposited in the bank and lend it out to other people. That's a law. That's how banks make money. So that's why they don't charge you for your checking accounts. So, or if they do, they charge you overdraft fees. Wells Fargo made $10 billion almost in overdraft fees. So that's what they do. So that's why I tell people, don't let your money sit in a savings account. Right now, if you put your money in a savings account, you're going to get 0.002, not even a full percent, like 20th of a percent. And what they're going to do is, so if you put 10,000 in there, they're going to take 9,000 out. They're going to go invest it in the stock market, or they're going to lend it to somebody. And then if they give you, just say 1%, let's round up and say they give you 1%. They're going to charge people 9-10% for those loans. And that difference of 9% is called the float. They get to keep that. And then they give you 1%, and they're borrowing your money out.
They taking my money.
And lending it back to you. So like your mom got a nice, beautiful home if it's not paid off yet. So the money that you got sitting in the bank is what they do. They're going to lend to your mom to buy her house. That's what they do.
Wow. You know what? That makes so much sense. Wow, that's crazy. Yo, that makes a lot of sense. Because in reality, if you take too much money out your savings in a month, they charge you. And I'm like, why would you charge me to take my money out? It makes sense because they may be using your money.
Yeah. And that's why if you ever go to a bank and you say, oh, if you got like over 5,000 or 6,000, you say, look, I want all my money out of here. They'll never be able to give it to you right away. We need a couple of days to get the money.
You know what? Listen, y'all. PJ just dropped something that I didn't even know. And that says a lot because I read a lot. Well, I don't read. Listen to.
Yeah, you're an avid listener. You're a learner.
I'm an avid listener. I'm an information junkie. That is insane. That's why the old people put their money under their mattress.
Yeah. But see, now here's the double-edged sword. So if you put your money in a savings account, they use it, but okay, it's supposed to be safe. But if you put your money in your mattress, then inflation eats your money. Because you got to talk about inflation. Back in 1920, $20 will buy you 20 loaves of bread, 4 full tanks of gas in a car, and like a grip of stuff. I can't even name all this huge list. $20 today will barely get you like a half a tank of gas. That's it. No bread, no nothing.
That's it. That's all.
Nothing. Yeah. So like inflation is like eating your money. I mean, you look at it, the price of bread 20 years ago was literally like $1.
Yeah.
Now it's $2 and something. But so if you think about it, it raised 100%, it doubled, but people's wages are not doubling.
They're not moving with inflation, what inflation is doing.
Yeah, so that's why you have to outpace inflation. So inflation on average is 2.7%. You got to make more than 2.7%, or otherwise your money is just not worth as much as it was.
So so when we get off this call, my brother, me and him going to set up an appointment. I need to figure this out because I think I'm doing really good. I'm saving. I have multiple streams of income. I get money from my podcast. Well, once I drop my merch, of course, I get money from when I work, when I do hosting gigs. I have all these different streams. I coach, I teach, I have 2 products. But I'm like, all right, Brianna, you're making money, but your money working for you? That's the question I've been asking myself.
So here's the question I got for you. I got a question for you. So when you think about everything that you named, that's earned income. So do you have any streams of revenue where you don't have to be there and you're going to get paid?
Oh, that's where you come in.
Yeah.
So that's why you need to talk. And I reached out to you months ago. I was like, look, bro, I got this money that I'm sitting on. I know I want to invest it. I don't want to have to watch it. What's up? Because I know for a fact I told you I listen a lot. I listen, find a lot of different information, and I know for myself that's why I'm doing this series in 4 steps. Some people are at step 1, which they're gonna watch the first episode, they need to sit there. But I'm at step 3 of my episode. Like, I understand my money, I understand how to save it, how to budget. Now I don't need to understand investments. And so this is like the intermediate side of financial literacy.
Yeah, you learn
it. Take those steps. And so I'm ready. And I hope my audience, once they get to your episode, which you drop at the end of January. So I would have loved to drop it now, but some people aren't ready for it, and that's why I got to be in steps, because they're not ready for this information, because it took me some years to know what I did to get here. But yeah, so knowing that I know what I know now, I've always been that person to be like, I'm not giving my money to the stock market. I'm not giving my money to somebody and they're gonna gamble my money away. So a question that I have for you is, what are some of the biggest misconceptions when it comes to like stocks and investments?
Well, I think this is just a misconception. It's not even a misconception. What it is, but people don't, the unknown scares people. So we was never taught this in school. And, you know, our perception as minorities, especially growing up in the inner city, is it's all white folks in banking who gonna take your money. So it's like what you've been trained. Your grandma got all her money under her mattress. Then your mom got all her money in the house. And so now nobody trusts banks. And it's like just kind of been ingrained in us to not trust the financial system, which for good reasons, because back in the day, like a long, long time ago, banks would steal people's money. Yep. I mean, you think about the Great Depression. It was caused by a lot of people stealing money, a lot of crooks. But now there's a lot of laws in place. And I think if you take the time to first say, like, the number one investment you can make is in your education. So if you're fearful about the market, say, okay, before I ever step in, don't ever jump in 2 feet to the deep end. You test with 1 foot. So then you say, I'm going to invest in myself about knowledge. Technology is the great equalizer. So we live in like the best time, because through technology, through YouTube, through free books, through audio books, you can learn anything. So you go on there and then you just go simply, what is the stock market? Then you start to learn like that. And once you learn, I guarantee you there's so many things that you can relate it to. And you can say, dang, I know that. How I picked it up so quick, I started looking at these companies as basketball teams. So if I say, all right, who's the CEO? That's the same thing as the coach. The coach determines how good a team is right away.
Absolutely.
So then when I look at these companies, so let's just take Apple's, for example. So I say, okay, dang, Tim Cook. So Tim Cook is a great CEO. I compare him to like Phil Jackson. So then I say, all right, if he's a great CEO, let's look at his track record. Has he won? Year over year over year, his company has been, listen, in 2010, Nokia and Apple were worth the same. Now Nokia is barely around and Apple's worth $2 trillion. And they're the biggest company in the game. So then after I look at the coach, then I say, all right, the players is the product. What's the product? What are they selling that's really good? So if you think about Apple, this is what gives them, it's called a competitive advantage or a competitive moat. And a moat is like back in the day, like in medieval times, they would have the castle, right?
Yeah.
And then they would have water around it, right? The water is the moat. So if the water is like maybe say a meter wide, like 3 feet wide, then it'd be easy for people to jump over that. Exactly. But if the water around is a block wide, then you're not going to be able to get to the castle. So that's a competitive moat. So how can a company build a moat, build the water around them, a competitive advantage so big that nobody can get to them? And this is how you do it. So let's just take Apple. Apple has 9 companies under their big company, 9 products that are billion-dollar companies, billion-dollar products on their own. iPhone, iPad, MacBook, yes, Apple Watch, App Store, Apple Pay, Apple News. Like all of these different things is like, yes. And when you talk about like the App Store, a lot of people don't know to even have a product on the App Store, you have to pay 40% of your profits to Apple. They kill you.
Wow, Apple's killing people. Killing
so it. How do I get on that team, or how do I own that company? So I tell people, yeah, the number one thing is, but the coldest thing about the stock market, I actually don't have to try out. So I say, I'm using Apple every day and I see everybody else is doing. And then they got brand loyalty. So this is another thing, brand loyalty. And then they have, it's called, I don't know the exact term, but it's like called switching power. So if I was to switch, my Apple Watch is not going to work on an Android.
Nope.
Yeah, like the things that I do on my, like if I use, let me see what this is called. Not only QuickTime, but like if I use iMovie, I can't transport it to a PC.
Nope.
So they make it hard to switch. And once you get in, it's so many things that's compatible. I can't plug my Apple iPhone into a PC. It's not going to pop up with iTunes.
Nope.
So all of that is like makes a company really good. So then when you think about having a competitive advantage and having like a market share, then you just go after companies that you know. So I tell people, you got an iPhone, you got a MacBook, you got AirPods, you got Apple Watch. Why you don't own Apple?
Why you don't own Apple, Brianna?
Yeah, because you're an Apple freak. Why you don't own Apple? Like ownership is different. Now, like, all right, so if you take each check that you got, and you say, all right, I'm gonna buy every check that I get paid, I'm gonna buy one share Apple. Apple's $120 a share or $130.
Yeah.
So then over time you start to accumulate shares. And Apple goes up and then they split. They go up, they run the price really high, and then they split every time. And what I mean by split is like this. So one share Apple, when it started, boom, it went all the way up from $0 all the way to $700.
Yeah.
And so what Apple does, they're very smart. They want a lot of people to be able to participate and be able to buy their share. So then they say, all right, we're going to do a 7-for-1 split. So if you own one share at $700, we're going to split it into 7 shares. Now you own 7 shares at $100. But now more people can buy in because it's hard for people to buy a $700 share of Apple, but they can buy a $100 share.
Absolutely.
And so then what they do, now you got 100. So then you run all the way up. And just like again, Apple has split 3 times. So they did a 7-1, they did a 6-1. And now just again in August, the price was all the way back up. When they brought it back to 100 and 1.5 years or 2 years, it got all the way back up to 450. They split again, a 4-1. So now, like you think if you just buying shares and they keep splitting, like I started off only with like at the beginning of this year, beginning of this year, like I think I had 35 shares of Apple, so not a lot. Now I got almost 100 shares because of the split. Then I sold some, took some profits, but like now I split and I'm at 35, automatically goes to 120. Boom, I'm gonna sell 20, and now I got like just under 100 shares.
Dang, listen, y'all, he just dropped some game. Do y'all think normally I be sitting there talking to people, I be like, yeah. But I'm like, tell me more. See?
Yeah.
Okay, bro, don't worry. We're going to have a conversation. I'm not concerned. Yeah. And y'all, listen, understand this. It takes a minute to get to where PJ is, and that's why he's the expert. I'm not an expert. I understand how to manage my money and do well. And that's why when you're listening to this information, it may be overwhelming, but you haven't hit step 1 yet. Step 1, 2, 3, 4 is essential to building your wealth and understanding where you fit in when it comes to being financially literate. So don't think that you can't learn this. I don't even know this, but I know the other stuff that I'm ready to obtain this information. So I know a lot of times people are like, man, y'all talking about stuff I don't understand. You will eventually. That's why you hire PJ. Just throwing it. That's a plug. I don't try to listen. I'm playing this right now. It says a lot for me to be as cheap as I am, and I'm willing to give my brother money because I trust his vision and I understand his heart. Like he's probably one of the purest individuals. He comes from good stock. So understand that. I'm not just shouting him out because PJ is PJ. No, he comes from great stock. His mom is one of the best people I ever met in my life. I love her. And his dad is one of the toughest, hardest individuals, but he pushed me to be the woman that I am today. So his family's phenomenal. That's a little side note. But yeah, so for myself, this is a question that some of my audience asked. And I know this is a misconception I asked you earlier. So do I need a bunch of money to invest? Like, do I need $1,000, $1,500 to start investing in stocks and investments per se?
No, you don't. I mean, you can start with whatever. I mean, couple $100, you can start investing. I mean, the best thing is, like I said, technology is a great equalizer. So we have apps like Robinhood that allows you to buy partial shares of stuff. So then that way you just can do like the principal. So if you're saving $100 a month, then you can put $100 in. Because $100 won't buy you a lot of different stocks. There's not many stocks that are under $100. Like the big companies that you're familiar with, like a Zoom, they're almost $500. Apple, they're only $130. Amazon, they're $3,000 a share. Yeah,
$1,000.
3,000, and they started all the way over at zero. Listen, Amazon since the inception is up. I think it said 76,000%. So you understand that. That's why Jeff Bezos is head and shoulders richer than everybody else. I mean, the next closest person is Warren Buffett. He got, or Bill Gates. He got like, I want to say 90 million, 90 billion. Bill Gates is in the 150s. Like he's about to double him.
That's crazy. But to be honest, the funny thing is that I just found out he took somebody else's idea. It's something that was way, way back in the day. I'll show you. I have the article. It's like it's somebody else. If their company still exists, it's the same exact model of Amazon. He just perfected it. He literally perfected it.
And that's what everybody do. That's what Apple do too. Apple always says, look, we're not going to be the first to innovate. We're just going to be able to do it better. So you remember the big screen phones? Samsung was actually the first person to come out with that.
Had the big, dumb, stupid phones.
And now Apple said, we're going to be just next year, we're going to do it better. That's the name of the game. But the laws are set up. So like patent laws are set up that you can only have a patent for a certain amount of time till they allow it to the public because they want competition.
Yep.
Otherwise, you'd be able to corner the market and you become a monopoly. So they set it up like that.
That's crazy. I need to know. So yeah, I'm gonna drop a gem. I know PJ ain't probably said this yet, but PJ gonna start teaching financial literacy classes. We don't know what his fees are gonna be yet, but I'm gonna make sure he is charging because I'm for real. Because PJ's like, nah, sis, look, I do this stuff for free. No, you won't. Not no more. Okay, listen, it pays to know this. I understand your value, bro. Like I've been watching you from a distance, and I'm like, he just knows so much, and I'm like, all right, I gotta figure this out. That's why I text you like, hey, bro, what's up? Can we talk about stocks? But no, honestly, bro, I think this is something that our community needs. Like, I grew up north of Minneapolis. We don't talk about this. All I knew was just saving. That's it. Yeah. I'm like, what else? Like, all right, how do I make money? And I'm tired of working to get money. A lot of times people understand in order to be wealthy, your money has to work when you're not watching it.
Facts. And, I tell people, look, you save so you can invest. And you invest so you can have ownership. That's what we lack. Our people don't own nothing. So that's why you save so you can get your own.
Absolutely. Like, so you can own something. All right. So we talked about all this great stuff. So where do I start? Right? Like say I'm your client. I'm where I am right now. And I'm like, where do I start? And I know you said like researching these companies or like Googling like stocks and just doing your own personal research. Say I did all of that. Where would you put me? What direction would you point me in?
So then here how I'll do it. So then we can do just a live one right now. We can talk about it, and this will even help your audience. So then first thing I would say, okay, is what's your goal for the money you got invested? I need to get to know you. I mean, what's your goal? Is this money that you're going to invest? Is it for the long term, 10 years or more? Do you need this money in a couple of years, maybe to buy your own home? What's the goal for the money? And the goal for your money dictates everything. So what you trying to do with the money that you got saved? What's the goal for it?
Me, long term. So I would like to build residuals. So in the sense of if I want to put my money somewhere, I want it to just continue to keep building itself so I don't have to watch it. Because I make money consistently. I don't need something immediate for me. It's like a long-term goal. If I want to purchase a property or not even like a house, I'm talking like a property. Like when it comes to my product-based businesses, eventually I do want to have my own warehouse. So I'm thinking like, okay, how can I invest money so that I can make that money so I can be able to purchase that versus me getting a loan from a bank?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but then you got to understand. No, that's awesome. I'll tell you that because I don't want to I always do this. I always like make suggestions, but I got to hear your full plan. Okay. So then, you think about your safety net. Like if you have a safety net, then how much of your money, just gave a percentage, you don't have to give actual numbers. How much of your money in your account, your savings account is for your safety net?
Let's say about 20%.
So then that 80%, then you can use it for different things. So if you say long-term, then I would buy, and they're called ETFs. So these are the exchange traded funds, especially if you don't want to watch it all the time. So one is QQQ. And if you anybody can do this, they can download the CNBC app on their iPhone. And then it's just like the business news, and it allows you to see the stocks. On the middle tab on the bottom, you'll see watch list. If you click on watch list, I do this so much, I got it memorized. And then in the top right corner of the screen, you'll see a magnifying glass, and then you can type in QQQQ. And then, so QQQ is an index fund. So lot of times you can buy one company and you can put all your eggs in that one company or a couple companies.
Yeah.
But what you need, if you're not like a professional and you're not watching it every day, you need to buy a basket of companies. So I know one thing that I believe in is technology, and you got to find that for yourself. But the way of the world is going toward technology. Everything is tech-based. So QQQ has the top 100 technology companies in it. So you talk about Amazon, Apple, Zoom, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Facebook. All of those companies are in there. So instead of you having to own a piece of all of those companies, which you probably don't have the money to, you could just buy one share of QQQ and it has all of those companies. And you're going to participate in the growth of all of those companies. So maybe a couple might go down, but it's cool because the majority of them are going up. To this day,
you got a larger pool too.
Yeah, and you got a lot, and you're diversified. Obviously, you're diversified amongst many tech companies, but all of these are not just in the same lane of tech. So when you say tech, you got communications companies like a Facebook.
Yeah.
You got like a logistics company, which is Amazon. You got, because that's what they are. Amazon is also a cloud computing company.
Yeah.
So like I always tell people, if you think about like where the stock market is gonna go, that's what you want. Where's society going? So everything is going tech based. So then everything is going tech. Number one, who's gonna protect all of this data? Who's gonna protect this? So now maybe I should invest in cybersecurity companies. Yes. All right. Who's gonna store all of this data? Maybe I should, and you just talked about it. Maybe I should invest in cloud computing companies that can control the cloud where we can store this data. If we think about, dang, we making phones, computers, dang, maybe I should invest in chip making companies like NVIDIA. They make the computers, they make the chips.
Look, you drop a seat. Look, boop. That's it. That's all, y'all. You ain't getting no more free game. Look, listen, because you like how you making it make sense. So it's right now, that would have took somebody 6 weeks to find what you just said. And y'all got it for free. So I'm going to have a conversation with my brother offline, okay? And I'm going to purchase his services, and y'all should too, because what he just drops, like, mind you, my head's like this. I want to sit down and write in my notebook while he's talking, but I can't because I'm shooting episodes. So with that being said, y'all know for real, he not giving y'all no more. Now I'm going to get the services. I hope y'all do as well. I hope y'all capitalize on this brain that he has, because it's so simple the way that he's saying it. And I've been listening to a lot of podcasts and audiobooks, and I still don't get it, okay? I don't get it. And so that speaks volumes to who he is, all right? So since I don't even think I'm going to ask this next question, because I don't even want people to know when. Actually, you know what? I'll ask it. I won't be selfish. So now that we are investing, right? We're following this journey. I'm investing. When do I know to pull out, right? Like, how do I figure out what trends? Because sometimes a lot of times people are putting money into stocks, but they don't really understand what they're doing. They feel like they have an idea, but that's it.
So that's called like an exit strategy. So before you ever invest your money, you have to know what the goal of the money is. So that way you know when you reach your goals. And that's when you exit. So, for example, I bought Zoom. I didn't think Zoom was going to run up like that. So I bought Zoom when it was 104. So I said, dang, all the kids is going to distance learning. I'm about to buy this telecommunication because, Skype is whack. And I know they're not going to use that. Zoom is super easy. So I bought it. So I said, my goal is if Zoom gives 100% return, 100% return. Actually, I didn't even say that. I said if Zoom goes up 30%, then I'm going to sell it. So what I did is I bought it at 104. Like literally in a month or two, it was like crazy, like 200 something. So I had already made 100% return. So what I did is I pulled my initial investment out. So my 104, so I bought 10 shares. So it ended up being like a little bit over $1,000. When it went all the way up to $2,000, I pulled all my initial money out. So now I only had $1,000 left again.
Yeah.
But I let that keep running. Zoom is all the way up at $400 now. A share, like $450, and it went all the way up to $575. Yeah. So when you have a goal for your money, then you go till you reach that goal, and then you pull some off the table.
So basically, what you did is, so say you invested $1,000, right? So when you made 2,000, when you got to 2,000, you took 1,000 out and left the $1,000 still sitting there. So
now I'm playing with house money.
And now you gambling with the money that you made, in a sense.
Yeah, it's house money now. And so then what I did with that 1,000 that I pulled out, then I went and bought another share and said, like, how do I do the same thing with another company? So
oh, dope. Man, they need to teach this in high school. Like,
I don't know why they don't teach it.
How about you?
Go ahead.
Tell you what, I'm gonna tell you that off camera, because I'm always about making a coin. So if I have an idea, I'll tell somebody something that I don't know how to do this, but I feel that I'll tell you. Let me write this down. I know what I'm talking. I know what it is. You were like, why she ain't gonna say it? No, because PJ gonna collect this and he gonna make a coin off of this. I don't care what nobody say. But that makes sense. Okay, understanding your goal. Because I'm like, dang, because I know people that pull all their money out, and I'm like, why you just pull it out? I know you made money, but for instance, if I'm going to play blackjack, right? Say I came up on $1,000. What you just said, I'm not gonna take all of it. I'm gonna take the $1,000 I made, but I'm gonna still play with the money I already had. That's just my perspective on what I'm gonna do. Like, I'm gonna do that automatically. But I never thought about it in that way in regards to stocks. I don't understand it. You don't know what you don't know. So now we're at the tail end. So people now know that PJ has a phenomenal mind. Okay, he gonna make me some money. I know for a fact. I could just feel it. Hopefully he'll make you some money. So give them a little bit of, I know you talked about it in the beginning, but just kind of go over your services from start to finish so people can have an idea, and then let them know how to reach you again and all that great stuff.
So, okay. So my services, this is why I told my sister I do this for free, because really I deal with high net worth clients. So I am an advisor for athletes. Like literally my minimum is 500,000. I don't really deal, because that's the space I'm playing in. And my services, because I do so much, not to say like if you're not making a whole ton of money, but you're not going to be able to utilize all the services that we provide. Like, because I do financial planning, I do money management. This is for the people who literally don't have time. So I get paid from the very wealthy people to help them build wealth. My philanthropy and my heart for my own community and my people, I'm going to do it for free. So that's why I like giving my services away for free, because the table is already tilted in their favor. So they are privy and have the wealth and have the knowledge to be able to go hire somebody to do that, whereas our people don't. So our people have a very hard time allowing people in to see their money, number one, and then they don't trust nobody. So if you don't trust nobody, no problem. I'm going to teach you how to do it yourself.
That's good. You know, and I take everything back that I said at the beginning of this episode, y'all. Now that how you broke that down, I appreciated that. Thank you. Because in reality, I think where I've got to this point is that I think I've been so depleted by people just taking. Archie people take. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
They'll suck you dry like a raisin. Okay. And I'd be like, man, like, you don't understand. Like, people will pay me this. Like, for instance, my training services. You know how much money some families in the suburbs were giving me?
Are they going to pay you $100 an hour? Because I do the same thing and they appreciate it. But then the city kids, people want to work out for free all the time. I'm going to just tell you something. This has been my whole philosophy in life, because I've learned so many lessons what you're talking about. So I say, my time is worth money and I should charge people. So that's why I probably am going to make a course, because what I learned is a lot of people take advantage. But this is also what I learned on the flip side. Most people will hear the information I tell them and won't do nothing.
You're right.
They'll continue to absorb it and not do nothing. So like who I want to be able to help is that one person who listens and says, damn, I'm going to just do everything he says and I'm going to try it. Then it's worth it to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So then it's worth it to me. Even if only one person is watching this podcast and that one person does something, then I'm grateful.
Well, good thing you got that one person, because I'm telling you this right now. I'm busy. PJ's very busy, y'all. And I've learned, being his sister for the last 15 years, you got to hit PJ up a couple times, okay?
Yeah, don't be afraid. And hit me up on the gram. I got people. I just had a kid from Cameroon hit me up like 5-6 times. It took me a long time to respond to him. When I finally responded to him, he said, look, I just graduated with an economics degree from the University in South Africa.
Yeah.
Can you help me learn finance? I've been teaching him like over Instagram. Just boom.
Yeah, so I'm happy you dropped that gem, because that's what I'm going to tell you. You got to develop a course, bro. Like, that's
I know.
And literally, package that up and make a curriculum out of it. You gotta think, me being a former professor and teaching at a college, institutions are always looking for better ways to pull in more students, right? So I can go into an institution because I'm certified and trained in cultural competency, right? And I can get paid to go to an institution just to train their employees on how to be culturally competent. What I'm telling you, and this is the reason the idea, I'm happy you mentioned it, because now I can tell you, because people can't do what you can do. You can build a curriculum on what you're talking about and sell it to an institution. Just throwing that out there, just letting you know that.
No, that's exactly what I need to do. So look, I got a friend who built a curriculum, like a financial course. It's like 10 videos long. There's some slides. Last year he charges $500. Last year he sold 250 of them. So you do the math. That's almost 250,000.
I know. That's why I said, go ahead, bro. Look,
so I got to start, because even if I charge people $200, $250 for what I'm gonna give you the blueprint. I'm gonna give you the map so you can get back
3-4 times over in that, and just learning in that session. That's why I said it's so valuable. And so I'm down. Look, I'm down to just learn, and I'm hitting you up. Congratulations on the baby coming. Oh my God.
NBA.
I said, let's do it crazy. I'm like, let's see if Manny's jeans is as strong as yours, or you just gonna have a little, because y'all heels, okay? Y'all spit out people like y'all spit out clones.
Replicas.
Are they making these kids in the house? Everybody looks like each other. So I'm like, Mandy, I'm pulling for you, sis. I'm pulling for you.
You gotta have some jeans up in that pool. Otherwise, theirs is so strong, straight up. We all look alike.
All y'all look alike. When I say your little brother look like you,
identical. Everybody says, "Is this your son?" I'm like, no, that's my little brother.
Like watching him for his mannerisms. Are you? I'm like, oh my God, it's like watching PJ again. Oh, it's so funny. And now, is there any shout outs? Even though I already dropped a gem, I'll shout Mandy out myself because I love her and she's phenomenal. And she's such a sweetheart. I don't know how you pulled that, because you ain't got no. I'm just playing.
No, that's luck. I married up. You know, she upgraded me. Yeah.
Any last gems that you want to drop to the people? Shout outs. You know, you got 75 siblings. Just go ahead.
No, what I want to tell people is, like, you know, the last thing I want to tell people is just act. And you got to have a plan. So having that plan, and it says in the good book that people perish for a lack of vision, you know, or people cast off restraints where there is no vision. So if you have no vision and no plan for yourself, even if it's a basic one, then you're going to just like kind of wander. Like, just imagine getting in a car with no destination. Man, that don't even make no sense.
It makes no sense. And I always tell people this. This is the quote that I've been living by. Without discipline, there's no direction. And so having the vision is great, right? But being disciplined enough to walk in that vision gives you the destination. And so that's how I live. I'm like, all right, I got the vision. I think big. But am I disciplined enough to apply what I've learned?
Facts. That's major. That's major. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. I'm so happy. I was like, look, I was gonna text you yesterday. I know it was Christmas.
Nah, text me. I don't care if people bug me, because look, I know I bluff sometime and I am very busy. I got a million things going on, but it's cool.
And I'm so appreciative of your time, bro. Like, you have no idea. And I'm like, yes. Somebody was like, I was talking to a fellow podcaster. They say, how you get PJ on? I said, understand this. This is my brother. Okay. PJ know me from like nappy head, glasses, unorthodox. Okay. He knows some dirt. Okay. On me. Look, I've been around for a long time, but no, thank you so much, bro. Like, this was phenomenal for my audience, and I'm super, super appreciative of your time. And I won't hold you no more. Send my love to the family. Kiss on everybody. Tell mommy I love her, because you know that's my boo. Tell her that's my baby. But no, everybody. Again, you can find him on his social media, PJ Hill for Facebook.
Yeah.
Mr.PJ Hill on Instagram.
Mr.PJ Hill. Please come follow the wave. I give tips every day. And
go follow him, because he does talk about stocks every day on his story. Okay? On his Facebook story, I see it consistently. Today was sponsored by My Cool Ash. Shout out to My Cool Ash for, got a little sponsorship now,
Yes, love.
A little bit. But always remember, y'all, peace, love, happiness, and success. And I will talk to y'all later. Thank you, bro. I love you. I love you. I love you.